Mrs Bumble.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she?
She is great. Well, she's
good look, Caroline.
a feisty woman, isn't she?
Not many people can get away with a bonnet like that, can they,
no.
Gloria?
And that lovely lace and no makeup.
Yeah. No, I really... she's fabulous because she's vile. She's vile in so many different ways.
It's a kind of Dickens mashup, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah,
it
is.
So the writer... This is the writer,
Tony
Jordan, who writes EastEnders.
That's right, well, has written, yes.
Written
and sets up EastEnders, in fact, and Tony set up our show and produces our show and writes it. There are other writers as well on our show, and we've got some fantastic script writers, actually. And it's... What happens is that you meet lots of Dickensian characters that you may know from other stories, and they actually cross paths in the 20 episodes. So you'll be watching something and you'll see Miss Havisham and suddenly you'll see Fagin walk behind. Of course, they'd never meet in the Dickensian stories, but they're all in our Dickensian
And does that amalgam work, do you think?
I really love it. I can't sit here and be coy and say, oh, thank you. I absolutely adore it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's some of the best television I've ever been involved in. And it's so gripping. And you know, Dickens used to write for newspapers, so he would write in instalments, and at the end of every instalment there would be a cliffhanger. Absolutely, exactly, and that's exactly what Tony's done with this. So after every 30-minute episode, you can't wait to find out what happens next.
Did you study Dickensian London for the part?
Yeah, we did. We were all sent books to read, and we were all told to learn about, you know, speech patterns and what London was like.
And what did you learn from it?
Nothing at all. No, I did learn a lot, but actually, but the great thing about it is it's an inhabited Dickensian London set, but actually the dilemmas and the characters are very, very modern and absolutely accessible. And this is the kind of genius of Dickens and of Tony Jordan, is that we recognise all those people. I mean, Mrs Bumble is a manipulative social climber. Well, we all know people like that today, don't we?
Oh, we do.
You know.
And so what does it take to drag you away from your lovely farm and your lovely husband and children now? You know, what kind of part has to drop through the door for you to get you back up to London
Money.
filming?
Yes, if only, yeah. This is BBC.
Yeah, you sound very similar to me. You've got the young husband at home with the kids.
Yeah.
You're going to work, and you say, as you get older, your sex life... But I'm not that I'm back on that subject again. But you say you're very, like, up for it still, and...
Bless your heart. We've only just met.
But no, and you say you're on your farm, got your kids, it's quite similar.
I am very happy. I'm like you, I love being in the countryside, I love being with the children, and my husband, who's not as young as he used to be, I don't know how old my husband's in his 40s
12 years
now.
younger or something.
Yeah, 12 years younger indeed, but he's, I know he's watching this, so he's not a baby anymore, he's 40, he's 44. He's a grown man, but it is lovely to have that home life, but it's wonderful also to have the variety. So coming up here today, and it's, you know, it's fun and it's glamorous and exciting, and then I can tootle off and sort the chickens out when I get home.
I met your husband recently.
Yes.
At a do.
Yes.
And it was fascinating because he told me that the fact that he's not sitting idly on the farm just looking after children, because he developed a cosmetic range for children, for young people, teenagers, acne and stuff.
That's right.
How did that happen?
Yeah, he used to work in television, and when my daughter and my son started to use those personal care products, he looked out there and found there wasn't anything suitable for them, something that was efficacious but not driven by kind of, you know, those sort of pouty, sexy things they sell to girls, and he really disapproved of that, because my daughter's marvellous girl and doesn't want to be sold sex at 12. So he went and retrained, and he's now a cosmetic scientist.
Wow,
and he's called, and Sam Farmer, if you're out there, he's launched this wonderful products for teenagers. So,
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam, darling.
Love Sam.
And the hell of acne and spots.
Yeah,
and when you've got teenage children.
And the smell, you know, he's got a deodorant that actually is made for young people, because, you know, not to put too fine a point on it, at a certain point hormones kick in and they smell awful, don't they? I know they do, and we love them dearly, but there's a scent which, you know, only a badger can emulate. and Sam's decided to deal with that, so it's an efficacious deodorant. The moisturizer's not too heavy. If girls want to wear it under makeup, they can, but it deals with their issues, which they find very difficult.
I did.
No. It was interesting. It was very different, you know, a complete career change and interesting idea.
Also, I literally didn't recognise him. I used to go in his office and he'd be looking at, you know, those diagrams of chemicals that are sort of signs with numbers by them, and I thought, What's that?
I was away that did those.
Yeah, me
at the
too.
dentist.
I know, and I literally, I hardly recognise that man, but he's passionate about it and he lectures about it and he
lovely.
works with the Society of Cosmetic Chemists and talks about young people's skincare problems. So it's a great new change for us.
Oh, we were talking about Jerry Hall and Rupert earlier. What do you think about that?
Well,
then?
I was absolutely astounded. I was astounded that came out of the blue, didn't it?
It did.
Well, they've been
4
dating.
months.
They've been dating for 3 or 4 months. It's announced.
Oh, listen, I was pregnant in 2 months of meeting Sam, so I'm not going to... Whirlwind romances, I think, are a good thing. And I wish them well, and I hope they're very happy together. But I must admit, it did take me by surprise.
But why? Because of the age? Just for the age, or just that you hadn't heard they were even dating?
I suppose well-known people run into well-known people because they knock about in those sort of circles. But they're not a couple I'd have thought, oh, they'd be well-suited.
No.